What's up, guys? I just get a little call from Big Audio, scam department, and they're like, "Man, this video about the preamps not mattering, this is not good, man. Bauke, come on, you're our biggest shill. Can you do something about it? Can you, spread some more misinformation so we can continue our scam?" So here I am, your finest Nepo baby. My parents bought all of this for me, by the way. And yeah, I'm here to do an overpriced Dawless setup version 2 because the version 2 of the setup has much improved. My workflow has much improved. And mainly, I'm here to, yeah, you know, spread more lies and scams. That's basically it. Anyway, I want to talk with you guys about what has been happening with my beautiful little setup here, how it's been evolving. I've done a video of my overpriced Dawless setup a few months ago, and that was quite at the beginning of my whole journey. I didn't even start doing the dubs yet. I do live dub techno, by the way, if you don't know. Hi, I'm Bauke Top. Nice that you're here. Like, I only practiced the first line of this intro, and now I'm already out of breath. So, what did I get myself into here? I'm not really sure, but now we're in it. Now we gotta go. It's all improvisation from here, guys. I thought it was funny though. Like, big audio scam department. That was pretty funny. But now, as you see, I'm out of line. So it's just becoming absolute nonsense. So my main point is like, guys, come on. I want to share why I love all this stuff. I want to share why I've set up things the way I do and talk about workflow, talk about whatever. And yeah, I'm so proud of this setup. It's been coming together through a lot of money, of course, but through a lot of work and just like, I need this adaptation. My music taste evolves. Everything evolves. The only thing that's devolving is my mental capacity, but that's fine, happens to the best of us. So anyway, okay. Hey, star of the show, guys. That's you. Okay, but from the machines, star of the show. We have the Rodec is going strong. Last time I did my Dawless setup video, I was still using both my API desk and my Rodec desk. And I live in a small apartment, so I wanted to make it simpler. Also, just for the playability of it, less faders, less controls, just one mixer is enough. And I wanted to be able to do everything on this and go in a more minimal direction. I like efficiency. I like, efficiency. So let's just start talking about the Rodec, guys. I'm in a great mood today. Did you know it's my birthday in like a week? I'm turning 31, guys. Ah, thanks. That's sweet of you. What? Who said that? Okay. Well, anyway. Because I love you guys, I prepared a little, I did a little quick preparation of a little sound so we can hear sounds. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty sweet. All right. So the Rodec. First thing you'll notice. Okay, last time I also haven't really talked about how I put all the modules in the Rodec. And that is because I didn't really think about it. I met Tom Dridder, the owner of Rodec, and he showed me his setup, and it was kind of like this. And I was just like, I don't know what I want, but I know I want that kind of. And it looked like an intuitive interface and like the way of setting it up with 2 stereo faders, 4 mono faders, and then the modules above. I was like, let's start with that and see where we go. And my parents were paying for everything anyway, so who cares, right? So anyway, but I've been making some changes. So, let's talk about this, right? I want to talk about everything. What happens here? What have you been doing, Bauke? And again, I don't actually know where I'm going with all of this, but let's just do it. So, what is happening on channel 1? I'm glad you asked. Usually, these days, I use channel 1 for my kick drum channel. And I like having the separate kick drum channel. Like, I don't like that I have to sacrifice one whole channel for the kick drum, but it is the heartbeat of every techno song. So I'm just like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. And like that, I can process it individually, and we will come to one point later why I separate the low end or the kick drum from the tops, the claps and the heads and stuff like that. It has to do with a phaser and other effects. But so I have a kick drum on channel 1. What is happening with the kick drum? it goes. I've been using my TR-1000 as my main drum machine. Oh, do you see it? It's here. I've been using my TR-1000 as my main drum machine for my live performances recently, and that is because it has faders. It's so useful. I can, yeah, I love the sound of the alpha bass, and but this thing is so good for the performances when I have limited amounts of input space. That to have the faders and more controls on the machine itself really helps me to be able to get more expressive without needing a bigger mixer and stuff like that. And just classic 909 808 sounds is mostly what I use, and it just works. It's just nice. A nice 909 kick drum is just nice, you know? So usually channel 1 is reserved for the kick drum. It goes analog out in the individual output from the TR-1000 into, whoo, baby, you probably won't see this because of all the cables I got hanging here, but it goes into a Rupert Neve Shelford channel. It's a channel strip. It was the first analog piece of equipment that I bought, outboard piece of equipment. It was the first time I got royalties from the music work. I'm sorry, it's the first time my parents paid me, and I got this. So it's a DI. It has an EQ. It has a diode bridge compressor, and it's perfect for the kick drum because the Neve sound, and this is modern Neve, but Rupert Neve design, so it's modern Neve, but this specific unit was inspired by Rupert's classic design, so it's like a modern take on, it's like a remaster, you know? It's like a remaster of classic Rupert Neve designs. And it suits the kick drum energy for me because I want usually thick, big kick drums, but I also don't want them to punch too much, so this is more of a wow, wide open big sound, and I really like that. And I get the compressor there, which can really help rein in the kick drum sometimes. So let's play a little. Now I have an 808 kick drum. I don't know why I did that, but I never do that, but now here we are. You know what, let's change that for a little 909 kick drum, shall we? Sure, Bauke. Okay. Where is my 909 kick drum? Guys, come on. There we go. All right. Now, this is cool, right? So it goes from where we have a little EQ. I can turn that off. I can turn that on. Add a lot of low end. I can take away some mid-range. Add some mid-range. I can add top end. That is really useful because also, why it's so useful for me to have all those controls just for the kick drum is because I don't have any sidechain compression on my whole setup. So a lot of dance music is really built around sidechain compression. So then the question becomes, how do you make stuff actually stand out? You know, how do you get the kick to pump and work in a situation where you cannot sidechain compress? I could, if I bought more stuff, but I just don't want to, man. I like that it's no sidechain compression. I have to just puzzle around it, and it can really help to add some top end on my kick and take away some mid-range, or like low mid, so the bass lives more in that lower mid bass area, and then the kick drum lives under and above that with the click, and then you still get that good pump. Anyway, cool. Then I have some compression. I'll show you what it does. Oh, that's the makeup gain. Sorry, guys. Am I compressing here? Wait. Oh, I certainly am. I'm not seeing what I'm doing here. It's getting quieter. So, anyway, this usually works wonders. Anyway, it reins in everything. And what I also do sometimes is, because you can have 2 channels on the first 4 tracks of the TR-1000, I can also put like a low tom or some sub element on the same track, and it can together, the kick and that bass element can go through that compressor together, so you do get a bit of like almost the effect of sidechain compression, because the kick is pumping that other thing out of the way, and then the master channel doesn't have to work as hard to create that space, you know? So anyway, that's it for the kick drum. Oh, and then it has some saturation, like a bit like top end or low end saturation, the silk setting on the Shelford channel. Hey guys, it's ridiculous, right? I'm using a Shelford channel for the kick drum. It's like, this is the most expensive kick drum in the world. It's ridiculous, but hey, we got it, we love it, we use it. That goes for many things, and also like, if that would be about drugs, that would be a very bad thing to say. Anyway, here we are. Then it goes into channel 1, and then because there is this input channel, the Rodec M501 500 series input channel, which is one of the few 500 series units that has both a preamp and an EQ in one slot, and they made it specifically for this console because then you have the preamp figured out and you have an EQ figured out, so you're good to go. I don't always use it. Sometimes I press bypass here, because I already got the shelfer channel going there. But am I still recording? I am. It's going great. Sometimes I bypass it to get a bit of a cleaner sound. But sometimes I also use it because then I get another EQ and I get another input and output trim. I feel like I've recently seen a video of somebody saying that engineers never use overdrive and then output trim. Anyway, I would never do that. Like, I would never in my life, I would never crank this input gain. I would just never do that and take back the output trim. Like, what kind of beast would do that, right? I'm not a savage, and I definitely wouldn't do that to control or color the sound. Like, no, a real engineer doesn't do that. A real engineer just bypasses it, doesn't use it at all. Anyway, then I have another EQ, which is really nice because then I can add a bit more top end, a bit more low, take away something. I can really shape that kick drum as much as I want, and that's really cool. And again, it gives me separate control over the sends, which is really useful because which we will get to later, on this last stereo fader, I've dedicated it to just my delay setup. Most of you will have seen, I guess, my dub delay fader tutorial. And I create a delay, and this is my whole delay shaping thing. And what's cool about it is that I can, for example, send the kick drum to the delay, and then I can, okay, let me put on headphones, create rhythms. Oh wait, I gotta set the rhythm of that thing differently, whatever, but I can create separate rhythms that creates a bit more movement from just the kick drum, and the rest of the drums won't be affected by that groove. That is cool because it's just going from that one. Anyway, that's why I have the separate kick drum. That's channel 1. Should I continue channel per channel? Well, not. Guys, there's so much to talk about. I do what I want. I'm even getting sweaty, guys, and you see everything this way. I'm getting like sweaty and stuff. It's because I'm a bit nervous to talk to you guys. You know, like you're sitting there looking all cute and stuff. I'm so all right. They're listening to me. All right, sweet. Hi. Anyway, this got a whole different experience with my headphones on. I haven't been doing this whole talking thing in a while, and now I feel here we go again. Every time I think about talking into the camera, I just feel ridiculous. All right. Anyway, let's keep going, guys. Let's keep going. Here we are. Channel 2. What do I have in channel 2, Bauke? Well, another great question. We have my absolute gem of a device. Do you see it? Oh, God, the Rodec cans flip up, but I think you can see it. The Audio Merge CF67B filter. It is a passive filter design based on the old Altec filters that a lot of the dub guys used in Jamaica and so forth. And it was made by Audio Merge, two guys from Barcelona who I met at Super Booth. Their booth was close to the Rodec booth, and I was hanging out at the Rodec booth all the time. Remember Big Audio, Scam Corporation, like that. We were all in that pro audio section. We all hang with Big Audio. And I talked a lot of times with them, and they were just the absolute best. And I said, yeah, I make dub techno, and they started showing me the classic dub techniques, and I was like, what? And you use the fader and the sends, and you know, I love the sound of the filter. I tried it. I was like, this is amazing, but it's also like 1,000 euros for a filter. I was like, that's a lot of money for a filter. But They were so helpful, and they were talking with me so much, and we were just having such a good time. And I was just like, yeah, you know, the how much they gave me, I felt like I just wanted to support their company and who they are, and like to reciprocate that love that they put into the audio community and into their work. And so I was like, I didn't feel like I needed it. I wanted it. It was nice, but I was like, all right, I'm gonna get that thing to support them. And I happen to have one of the nicest passive analog filters out there, thanks to supporting them. So that's really sweet. Anyway, what's happening with that? It is set up on a send. So I send to the red little send you see here. Send to on my mixer is set up so that I can whatever I send to auxiliary 2 goes into the filter. It's mono, by the way. And then that filter, the return doesn't go back to the aux bus. The filter returns onto this channel here, on channel 2. I can show you by playing this kick drum. Ho, ho. If I'm turning off the master of the kick drum, but I can't send it. Hey, what do you hear there? A little clickety click from the kick drum. And let's... You hear that? I can filter that kick drum because it's sending to bus 2 and bus 2 is returning here. Oh shit, I was also having it sent to the fader. And why did I return it onto a fader and not just on auxiliary 2? Because on the Rodec mixer, my auxiliary buses don't have sends themselves, you know? Like, I want to have the return on a fader so that I can take that filtered sound, in this case, filtered kick drum, I took out the low end. I want to be able to send that again to the delay as well. So now I can send the filtered sound to the delay. And what's cooler is that I can then also choose that delay can send to itself, send 1. So now kick drum is being filtered. It's sending only, not to the master, you're only hearing the filtered kick drum. It's sending to this thing, auxiliary 2. And then this thing, oh, this is so awesome, is sending to the delay, which is this one. The delay is only 1 repeat, and so it's feedbacking on itself by sending into itself, by sending into channel 2. Wait, let me change the rhythm of that. I'm really sweaty, guys. What the fuck is going on here? Pardon my French. Okay, let's do some quicker stuff. A 1/8, and let's do a dotted 1/8. Yeah, that's the little gallop. I love gallop delays. So now this is feedbacking into itself, right? But we can do more. I can send this delay line also back into this. I can also choose to send it back into that filter. So kick is sending into the filter is sending into the delay, and then I can send the delay back into the filter. So you get this round loop of the filtered delays, and then we get this. So now you hear 3 kind of delays, and I can do both. I can send into the delay itself and into the filter. We got so much going on here, and that is just from 1 kick drum, and you got a whole world of sound already. And this is why the setup is so important, and why it's been refining and changing so much. This whole thing going on here is because I have landed upon this whole setup because it generates sound. I give it input, and because the way it's set up, it can be morphed and shaped within no time. You get a whole full feeling system of sound going on. And that's the cool thing with this delay fader and the filter fader. It's just like, it just works, man. It just makes magic every time, because there's just stuff going out of control and in control, and it's amazing. So that's the Audio Merge filter. I frigging love it. If you get one of their products, please do. And like, seriously, no money exchange hands from them to me. Like, literally, they were nice to me, and I love their filter. That's why I bought it, and they're great people. So just go, man. Just if you can, support them. They're the best. Guys, I do want to talk a bit about the Jim Lil video. You know what my main point is? This is my main point of the whole thing. Like, you can test, you can do things, you can check things out, whatever. But man, I'll speak for myself. My whole life, I grew up being 3 years old, sitting in front of my dad's speakers and like It's just feeling the sound and listening. And I've been in audio and buying headphones since I was like 12 or 13, and it's been an obsession of mine my whole life, like sound and sound reproduction. Like I was 15, I was buying WAV files online because I didn't like the way MP3 sounded, and I just love sound. I love music, sure, but I love sound so much, and like I love it. It's just great. And so you can test what you want, but if you don't love sound, that's fine. If you love music, that's fine. But I just frigging love sound. And that is the part that was missing for me in the Jim Lil video. I just love sound, and that is what brings my connection with other people, like these audio merge guys. They love music, they love sound. It's just like, and Rodek, Tom de Ridder, and Remco, the technical guy over at the Rodek. We just all love sound. Like, oh, where is the love, brother? Like, don't you just frigging love it? It's just the way stuff sounds and feels and moves. It's where is the love? That's my point. Okay, that was my Jim Lil reaction. Out of the way. Anyway, channel 3. This is great. Channel 3. What do we have there? We get the master output, but only the left side, so, or only the mono. A mono master output from the TR-1000. So kick drum comes in on channel 1. And master output from all the rest goes into channel 3. And that is nice because, as I said, it had to do with phasers and effects, why I separated out the kick and the top end. Because now, because I showed you what I did with the filter setups here and stuff like that, I can now send these percussion things into the delay without messing with that kick drum. You see? It's separate. I can do separate things with it. And what's even cooler, because I freaking love this sound, I haven't talked about bus 2 yet. So I have sends 1 and 2, and I have bus 1 and 2. And bus 2, guys, like, I don't know what your favorite bus is when you take public transport, but bus 2 certainly gets me places. I will tell you that, all right? So, wait, when I played my demo, did I not turn on these things? Did you hear the whole thing? Wait. I don't know. It's all messed up now. I don't know anymore. I will turn them off again. Whatever. Bus 2. So here we go. Bus 2. I have. Bus 2 is a Yamaha SPX 90. Is it? Yeah, SPX 90 Mark 3. 3. That's 2. I don't know if there is a Mark 3. Yamaha SPX 90 Mark 3. 2 is. I'm so distracted. Is on bus 2 here. And what's cool, I set it on like this phasing or like this chorus effect, and it's also mono in, stereo out. So I got to be careful with how I pan it, because if I pan it to the right, I'm not getting any signal into that thing. I will show you. Wait. Okay, let's bring in the phaser, boys. Nothing else, just this. Oh, turn it off. Let's turn it on. Holy moly. Isn't that some... it brings grit, it brings top end, it brings... did I mention I love sound? And this is very important, because I think that phaser is actually... I can live with delays going into, from the kick as well, into whatever, into the delay. But that phaser, if I send that kick drum as well into the... that messes up everything if the kick drum goes into the phaser. Sounds pretty good, actually. But anyway, you get the point. I don't want that. So that's why I've got it separated out. And... some fun stuff has been happening. Well, last time I did this video, the Rodec was still loaded with 4 Rodec input modules, but I realized, also back from my studio days, years ago, I bought an API 4-channel preamp with input and output trim. And I realized, wait, I have this thing. Also, I bought this rack unit for the Rodec, and the Rodec is designed so it can fit in this rolling rack unit, and I can have all these racks here. And that also started pulling all my gear together into one place. So I realized, wait, I have two API 550B EQs on my API desk there. I can take them out. I can put them in here. But what do I do preamp wise? Because then I don't have a preamp there. But then I realized I got this 4-channel API preamp hidden away in a rack somewhere. And I was like, if I just put those in there, I can use them as inputs for these. These two APIs can have EQs and the inputs from the APIs. And I just get another color to work with. And you hear how, without the phaser, that sound is like, it has a punch and a cleanliness to it, which is just friggin' amazing. I would demonstrate, but I'm not in the mood to. The kick drum going through this as well, or just through the shelfer channel. Whatever, man, it sounds different. Anyway, I got this 550B EQ here, which is so useful, especially on the percussive stuff, because it just grabs your ass, and in a non-sexual harassment way, in a very pleasant way. And especially for those, man, if I add some 800, hell yeah. Or if I take away some 240, which I love doing to bring some space for the synth elements, add a shit ton of low end. Oh, that thing is bouncing, all right. Amazing. So that's what's happening there. And channel 4 is the same, also an API preamp, and then the API EQ. I've been mixing around a bit what happens on these two channels here, because these are my main music channels, channels 4 and the stereo channel 5-6. Have I been talking out of the microphone this whole time? A little bit. Who cares? You probably do, but whatever. Focus, Bauke, focus. All right. Here I've been a bit flexible. A mainstay has been recently, always the Nina is always around, because that is just the workhorse synth of the 21st century. That's where we live. Thank you very much. To me, the Nina is what the Prophet was in the 70s. We were all around in the 70s, me included. And what the Prophet did for synths in the 70s is what the Nina is doing to synths in the 2020s. It is just so damn useful, and it's just so there. It can just do stuff. It's amazing. And then I also have the Digitech, which is a new purchase. I bought it like 2 months ago. And I switch a bit around. I also have here the trusty Magella Implexus. Great. That's like mono synth. That's also amazing. And between this switches around a bit between these few units here. You know, like what do I need? What do I want to do? And so that is not really set in stone. So the decision mainly becomes like, okay, which unit do I want to give stereo? Which unit can I live with in mono? And also this channel here, you see the Rodec input module M101, you see the stereo filter, and you see another stereo equalizer and stereo filter. But this input channel is actually also getting 2 API preamps, because I have 4 here. So there, whatever is the stereo channel, now in this case the Digitect, with a little plug. Yeah. Because that API is just nice and snappy, and I love that. It makes everything sound even taller and hi-fi. So yeah, that switches a bit, whether Nina goes on mono channel, whether Digitech goes on mono channel or stereo channel, whatever. Also depends on what I want to use this extra stereo filter for, because it can be really useful performance-wise. Like, of course, the Digitech has great filtering options, but sometimes you want to do a little analog filtering. And so I can set it on a low pass, this analog filter. I can make it a dynamic filter with a lot of resonance and get interesting sounds. It's pretty cool, right? I can make it a high pass, also very cool. So it depends a bit, like, what do I want to sound shape? What do I want to do? Who am I? What's the weather like? Is Mercury in retrograde? That's kind of it. And then we have the delay channel here, and that's my Eventide H90. And it's literally set. Why I use that one is because I can set the BPM. I don't want to time things manually. I just set the BPM and then I can do subdivisions of notes. But as I say in my dub delay fader tutorial, it's only set to one repeat. There are like one delay. There's no repeats happening. If I just send this, you will only hear the delay that is being sent. This is not sending to the master. You will hear left, right. Yeah, left, right. And it's playing two notes, see? And it's like you only hear left, right. And I create the feedback by sending it back through itself. Pretty dope. So that's cool. And why I used H90, that set tempo thing, I already had it. I bought it like 2 years ago, and it has great converters. Like as far as digital delays go, then of course the converters start mattering again as well. Like what is being used to go into the sound and out, and just the eventide, it's just top notch. It sounds big and open. I also have a source audio nemesis delay there, but I think it's very useful. I love it. I've been using it a lot before, but now the H90 is just, it sounds great. Let's talk about the pedals here for a second. Is it in the shot? I don't know. Anyway, there's a Dreadbox Komorebi chorus, there's a Dreadbox Lethargy phaser, and there's a Big Sky. And there's source audio nemesis delay, a Proco Rat. The Rat sometimes gets used on kick drums, so I can sculpt it a bit and filter it and distort it a little bit. Has an output trim. And nowadays, oh yeah, that's important. Nowadays, the source audio nemesis delay and the Big Sky, I don't use them for all my sends, but I started now using the auxiliary channels that don't have much controls, just like no input, no gain, no line gain, just trim and on off. I use that for my two auxiliary synths here. And I say auxiliary, beautiful synth. I love it. UDO, let's go. Let's give it up for the UDO Super 6. Hell yeah. Now, I love the Nina, but there's this kind of stuff that the UDO does like nothing else. Like, just that atmospheric 2000s feeling stuff. It's if this is a modern Prophet, I think the Super 6 is the modern Juno, and I think that's not new to say that, but it really feels like it. This is what I usually now use the UDO for. And then I have, because I cannot send it to any of the effects on my Row deck, I have this source audio nemesis delay that it just goes straight into, and I have the Big Sky here that it also goes into, so I can use that UDO as a bed or as a melody thing, and yeah, just let's just let's take a little breather, guys. So how's your week been? Have you eaten anything nice this week? I don't cook much, right? I live here in Paris with my girlfriend, and we both work a lot, and it's very easy to just get cheap, nice food here in the area. So you just go out for a glass of wine, have a little simple meal. Sometimes I don't eat much in a day. I do make nice sandwiches. I've been starting to make sandwiches like, classic, like some mayonnaise, some ham, some tomatoes, cucumber, some lettuce. It's very standard stuff, but I haven't done this. And it's just like... but I started, I'm to say so myself, I'm a great chef. I've cooked a lot throughout my life, but since I moved to Paris and I had my whole burnout before that, I'm just like, I can also buy some food. But I made some nice food this week. It was great. I'm gonna make some more food later. Anyway, that was that. Thanks, UDO. This was a great little... that's the UDO. That's what it's there for. Then, on the other auxiliary channel, I have my texture device. we just smoothly segued into talking about these units. Isn't that crazy? Nice job, Bauke. So, UDO, it's there for the vibes, for the emotion, for the atmospheres, for just making you drift out in outer space. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, brother. So then the GR1. It's a great story. I went to Amsterdam to hang out with an old friend of mine, Luc Frey, amazing techno artist, and he showed me the Torso electronics granular synth and this GR1, and I didn't know either of them. I've been like, I was at that point in like March, April, I was so deep in my whole analog journey that I didn't even think much about stuff. But I was starting to feel that I wanted to get some more different textures, that analog cannot really do. And then we were just playing around all weekend, and I got to use his GR1. And I didn't use the Torso one. He was playing on that. I was playing on this one. And I just loved the sound quality of this GR1. It has something, it has something. What is that? It's Dutch. That's what it is. Like all the best things in life, it's Dutch. And Luke said like, hey, yeah, I know the guy who makes it. Like I've had some contact with him. It's just like 1.5 hour drive from Amsterdam in Nieuwegein. And he was like, you want to go get one? I was like, yeah, I want to go get one and meet the guy. So we went there to Tasty Chips, to Mr. Chip himself. And we had a little chat, and I bought the unit straight from him. There was another funny story going on there, but I won't go into that. But Luke and I would know what was funny there. It was really funny. I laugh about it every time. Anyway, that was a great experience, and that's how I got the GR1, and I love it. It's just, I've recorded like my own synths and my own. This is like. What you hear here is a sound, some presets I recorded from the Nina, and then I uploaded them into this thing. And I also use this whole ambient effects pack that my friend Mikael Landeen, Patch Bay Diaries, recorded, like all these city sounds and stuff like that. And it's just amazing what you can do with it. So this is my mainstay atmospheric background thing, but the different texture together with the UDO, they can create this bed of love and happiness. And who doesn't like a little bit of love and happiness? Am I right? My boys and girls and everybody in between and outside of that spectrum. So then, moving on, the Digitect. As I said, new purchase, kinda, around the same time as that, a little bit later. I just wanted to have something that I could take with me. I have an Octatrack. And I've even had like a face-to-face, like a online session with EasyBot. Shout out Matthew, so he could talk me through the Octatrack, and I learned a lot from it. But I was getting so tired of that sampling workflow. It's just not direct. It's like in my head, it just never ends up clicking. And I just wanted a quick sampler. Again, another texture than what these analog synths can do. I wanted something direct and easy, and I finally caved after years of doubting if I should get a Digitect. And I love it. It's the Digitect. What else is there to say about the Digitect? But how I often end up using it, I've done some jams, of course, solo on the Digitect, but because I like keeping things easy, I use usually for my dub techno jams that I do here, I only use one track, like I don't layer a bunch of things. It's just like I create one really cool pluck, in my humble opinion. Oh, let's turn this off again. Yeah, and then I work with that, and then I can, of course, do some stuff to it. But I record everything live, so it's just like if I have too many things going on, I can't keep track. So Digitect, it's the Digitect, guys. Hell yeah. All right, moving over to the other side. What you see here is still me, I hope, yeah. The Nina. At the same trip, I bought the GR1. I also bought the Nina. And man, guys, it's freaking amazing. First, I thought it was just like a gimmick, like with those rotary knobs. And I went to MIDI Amsterdam, amazing synth shop in Amsterdam. And I told him, I went there because I was fully in my analog phase, right? And I told him, like, Tim was like, hey, I'm looking into the Deckard's Dream, like the CS80 clone, and I wanted another beautiful polysynth so I could do more chordy stabs, things layered on top of each other. And I was also like, but if you have any other recommendations, please let me know. And so I came there finally, and he had the Nina set up, and he was like, just try it, And I was like, but I thought it was so gimmicky when I saw it online with those faders. And I started playing with the Nina, and I was just like, hot diggity damn, this is something. And so I spent like hours in there comparing the Deckard's Dream and the Nina, and they're incomparable. They're so different. But just like, yeah, I'm gonna lay down a lot of cash for one of them, and those things are expensive and beautiful. So it's like, what do I want? Who am I? And yeah, I started realizing that this thing looks to the future. And just like the UDO, it's just like these things look to the future. And the Deckard's Dream is a beautiful synthesizer. The tone that comes out of that is just frigging beyond me. But I noticed that I could make sounds, and also with an ease of use. And it just had everything you use a synth for. And you're just like, how do I do this? Then the Nina said, hey, we thought about this, man. I got you. Don't worry. Here, poof, poof, poof. It's fixed. Don't mention it. Yo, you want to do that? Yeah, you can do that. It's just there to help you. It's never working against you. It's just there. Like, yeah, sure, man, let's go. I believe it's from Australia, right? Australians are so nice always, and this machine shows it. It's just it doesn't want any fuss. It just want to make cool beats, man. It's just like, dude, I'm not gonna do an Australian accent. Done enough. It has like why I compare it with the Prophet as well is because it has that meaty, warm, thick sound. It can do great basses. It can do great like dub chord plugs. What I prepared? This was like very quick. Okay, that's not very beefy. Anyway, the thing has an attack for days. The thing can do atmospheres. It has built-in effects, which is really useful as well in a pinch. The built-in sequencer that I can literally use the little thing as a keyboard as well if I don't have anything else around. Makes it so that you can sit on the couch with it and just like create a patch quickly and just hang out and have fun. It's just got your back. The Nina is really extraordinary as far as synthesizers go. Like I love everything I own, but the Nina is something special. It's just there. Also, love you too, Udio. Love you too. Everything here. But the Nina really just like showed me like, whoa, you can do this with a synthesizer. It's freaking cool. I hate picking favorites, because I'm like you don't want to make the other ones feel disappointed. They're great at different things, Like everybody does their own thing. But I guess the UDO was my first analog synthesizer. Nina is also new, so now that's why I'm like so impressed with it right now. And it's just a really impressive synthesizer. And you can change the color of the screen, and I made it pink because that's fun. You guys like fun? Then we have the TR-1000. I think not much needs to be said more about that. It's a TR-1000, and it actually it cut me. I cut myself on my TR-1000. Could you believe that? On my middle finger as well. Yeah, that happened. It's a TR-1000. I use it mainly for 909 and 808 sounds. It's my main rhythm machine these days, and it does its job. It's great. Then we have the Circlone sequencer. So sequencing situation, still the TR-1000 refuses to be slaved because it just doesn't want to be slaved. The delays, it's inconsistent and it's weird and it's just like nope. So I always use this as a master device. And then because my other synths keep on changing and stuff like that, and the Digitech is not a mainstay, that the Circlone sequencer remains my main sequencing hub. So this one sends MIDI into that, and that one sends MIDI to all the rest. And yeah, it just tells the rest what to do. And it's great. It's a Circlone sequencer. It's just like the longer you use it, the more you're just like, yeah, but it's a Circlone sequencer, man. It's just freaking great. I love it. It's yeah. Then under the Circlone sequencer, back from the dead. I think I said it in my last video, but in my last overpriced Dawless setup video. My Zale HM1 headphone amplifier is back, guys. One of the most expensive headphone amplifiers in the world. I bought it before my Dawless journey, also like 2.5 years ago, I think. I was on a waiting list for a while, and you have to understand that in this time as well, I was just out of my whole lo-fi hip-hop period. I was going through a massive burnout, but I was on this whole quest for sound, and I was getting money in from royalties because I made, 1,300 tracks, streams billions of times. So there was money. And so there was money, freedom, and a huge interest in sound. So that's when I went into my whole headphone and sound and converter journey. Bought a lot of expensive converters, bought a lot of expensive headphones, like a lot, not that many. I bought very expensive headphones and this amplifier. And it's just insane. It's just perfect for what I like in sound. It just gives it. And you know what's funny about headphones? I've worked on now a lot of different headphones, and I've talked about this in the past, but I keep coming back to these headphones, the Neumann NDH20 headphones. They just sound like home to me, and that's important. And I was just experimenting as well yesterday with using the RME converter again. Oh, I haven't talked about converters, but I was experimenting with this again. Famously, the RME ADI2 Pro, famous converter for being good. But compared to my Prism Titan here, the Prism Titan just delivers something that makes it sound more like music than the RME does. And it has the separation. It has the less dynamic range. It's like it cannot go as loud or as quiet as the RME can technically, but what it does within that dynamic range is just way more musical to me. And the combination of also, I monitor everything, not analog straight from the thing, from the Rodec mixer, how I monitor my stuff. So I have my Prism Titan here built into the rack. And the master out. Oh, wait. No, okay, continue, Bauke. Yeah, you got the master out from the Rodec going into the Prism, channel 1 and 2, and then the Prism is sending a converted signal again out into the HM1 as my monitoring. And why do I do that? It's because that is what the end consumer will hear. That's what I will listen to. Digital is my main domain. So I want to hear how the music sounds after the conversion stage. And so that is why I monitor everything going into the Prism. And because I use the Prism Titan as a musical instrument of its own as well. So it has a soft clipping circuit built in that you can turn off or on. But also the clipping behavior is very forgiving. I can go over absolute zero on the way in. So I can push my whole mix that I'm recording live, and I can push it into the converters and then have a nicer, louder signal with very minimal distortion, audible artifacts going in. And that's a whole part of my philosophy. Wait. Philosophy later. First, finally, the Elysia rack here. It's now really integrated into the setup. So we have, there's the master insert extra here on the Rodec. Do you see me pressing that button? And it turns off or on the Elysia rack. So okay, making music quickly. This is sounding great. What the freak is happening here? Okay, whatever. This is with the rack off. This was very quick, guys, but with it on, I can compress it more. I can add more bass. I can add more top end. I can overdrive it, and this is mid-side, so I can overdrive the mids or I can overdrive the side signal, and then I can make the mono signal quieter. I can make the mono signal louder. I can make the side signal louder. So I have just a clean master chain there. I've got a very useful master chain there. And what's so nice, because I got it built into this, is let's start talking philosophy, guys. So do you guys like Kant, or are you more like okay, whatever. Philosophy. I didn't understand why I was struggling so much with my mixes sounding so different than a lot of other music out there, especially like classic dance music that you listen to. And then just this week, I'm obsessed with sound quality, right? I need to have consistency between the elements that are in my music. And this is why I started getting into this hardware stuff, because I hated looking for samples, and this kick drum sample is processed in a whole different way than this synth or like this, and then Serum sounds so different from like, yeah, that hi-hat sample that somebody went through that limiter and this, and you have no control over it. And that inconsistency, because I had all this very expensive equipment and incredible listening equipment that trained my ears, I could hear that it sounded like a collage of different kind of sounds, and it bugged me to death that I couldn't have a consistent timbre in my sound. And that is how I slowly started to like, okay, let's get a drum machine and just like, I can shape my own sounds, and that one thing led to another, and now we're here. But you're here as well, so that's good. But then I started to struggle, as I've been doing this now for like a while. I started struggling, like, why are my mixes so different sounding than, other music? And then something clicked. I've been looking for like more information on what is happening here, because I record everything live and the stereo out goes into Logic and that's it. Then if I clip it on the way in, I don't even use a limiter. There's a lot of my songs out there that are literally just the performance, and it's loud. It's like -9 left, -8, -7, and it's loud, and it's just straight analog glory, poof, and digital. But just going in, and that's it. And that's art to me, like being able to shape that sound in whatever. Anyway, I was struggling with my stuff sounding so different, and then I was like, wait, but there's other people that have been doing this like straight to disc recording. There's like these vinyl recordings of people recording straight in, like with the whole band, whatever, and you just mix it on an analog desk. It's a live performance, and that does not go to tape. It goes straight to a cutting lathe into a master disc. So there is no conversion stages in between, and no multi-tracking. That's an important part of this whole thing. And then I started listening to some of those. This was just this week. I started listening to some of those 70s recording, like Charlie Bird direct disc recording or something. That's a great example. Or a more modern one. Nowadays, people do it with DSD audio as well, like pure DSD. The Rembrandt Trio or something. Blue, whatever. It was really, really beautiful. That's like last year, jazz album. And when I heard the way that the pure DSD and like the direct to disc from the 70s, the way that it sounded and the way how they mix certain things, that was like, this sounds more like my music. Not because I'm like a jazz virtuoso, but because there was something about the clarity and the openness. And it made me start to think about like, that it's really... Like, I put on a whole funny act here, but, like, I really am a massive nerd, and I really, like, I'm very dead serious when it comes about my audio and just the whole chain and what happens. And I cannot put my finger on it exactly what it is, but there really is... I know there's plenty of talks out there that like 96 kilohertz whatever is not that important, 44 1 16-bit or 24-bit is all you really need. I'm telling you, if I record a multi-track of the individual elements of my mix and then I run that back through the mixing desk and then print that, instead of just recording everything like straight analog into the mixing desk and only one conversion stage in between, I'm telling you, it sounds different. It feels something that has to do with something noisy. I'm not saying literal noise, but there is just the clarity and openness of straight analog mixing and then only one conversion stage does something that, I don't know. I cannot put my finger on it yet, and there's a lot of things I can put my finger on, but I'm showing you now what I cannot put my finger on, and it's that. Anyway, there's something interesting happening there. So, so that's the whole point. I'm really proud of what I can do live, and also just like the clarity that it creates. And this whole setup, you can tell from compared to my last Dawless setup video that a lot has changed, but it's also become a lot more direct and streamlined. And it's just about making music, and I could just create sounds that I love so quickly now, and just like and it brings unexpected stuff with these delays and the filters in parallel and things like that. It's just a party every time. So this I think is about it for the video. I don't know what else is there to talk about. Yeah, I love what I do. But I record, by the way, this is a fun little idea. I record everything in 96K 24-bit because, I do think it sounds better, or like it sounds more open. It sounds different. And I like the sonic quality that it has. But I think I'm going to experiment a bit with recording straight into Redbook format, just recording straight 44.1, 16-bit, like drop those 8 bits. Like I'm going to experiment with that, see what happens, see how it sounds if you, directly imbue it with that lower bit rate, like just make it natively 16-bit CD quality. I grew up on the sound of CD, so this is the fun thing with audio, and the thing with sound, and loving audio and loving sound. You can, if you know about things, is then to play with it and use it. And it's like, I don't care who will hear it. I will feel the difference. I will know the difference, and maybe the difference will be negligible. Maybe I don't like the difference. I don't know, but that's another experiment. And being able to experiment and doing things intentionally is one of the most fun things I know. And aside from talking to you guys, of course, that's the most fun thing I know. Of course. Anyway, I think that's about it for the setup. Anything more you want to add, Bauke? Bauke?